mind if I ask how you feel about Halloween Ends? Man, to be fair, I have only seen it once in the theaters. I have not rewatched it since it came out, but I was so incredibly disappointed by that movie, and that series. The Blumhouse Halloween trilogy just really, really, it frustrates me because I think there's so much good in it. Like, I think they do a lot of great stuff, but they also just horrendously screw things up that I think would be so easy to fix. And Halloween Ends just didn't double down on its own premise. Like, the way that Halloween Kills built up Michael Myers and his strength and what he was doing and how he was just like unstoppable in that movie. I loved Halloween Kills, by the way. I think that's the best of the new movies, of the trilogy. I didn't like the idea of taking it back and making Laurie Strode and Michael Myers not siblings anymore, because I just was so invested in that idea, being a Halloween fan for all these years. And ever since Halloween 2, that's always been the established lore and canon. So I thought it was a mistake to begin with to take that away. But, okay, they did it. Fine, whatever. I also thought it was a mistake not to bring Danielle Harris back, because in the new movies, they gave Laurie Strode a daughter. And in the old movies, her daughter was played by Danielle Harris. But they never interacted. They never had a scene together. So I thought there was the perfect opportunity to bring both legacy actors back, and then have Laurie and her daughter together. But they casted a different actress to play her daughter, which I thought was like the biggest like missed opportunity of the whole franchise. So that annoyed me. But I was like, okay, whatever. They're not siblings anymore. You're not casting Danielle Harris. Whatever. Let's see where this goes. And then Halloween 2018, I thought was okay. I thought there was a little too much like cringe humor in it, but they did do Michael Myers justice in the fact that they got his mask right. They filmed the scenes with him, similar to the original, kind of following him, stalking the premises and following him around Haddonfield and stuff. And the action was good, the gore was good. So I was like, all right, it's not what I want from Halloween, but they're doing an okay enough job. It's better than Resurrection. It's better than the Rob Zombie movies. So, okay, I'll go with it. Then Halloween Kills came out, and I thought that they expanded on it even more. I loved the flashback scenes in Halloween Kills. I loved all the scenes back in the 70s. I thought that was so cool. But this is why I'm going to get into Halloween Ends and why I hate it, because, again, missed opportunities. I loved how powerful they made Michael Myers be. I know a lot of people didn't like the whole town, like the evil dies tonight thing, but I like the idea of the entire town becoming paranoid over Michael being back and basically becoming an angry mob. I like that idea. So that's just me. And it built up to the final confrontation. But then Halloween Ends comes out and they just ruin all the setup that they had. So talking about the flashback sequences, they had that cop character. I can't remember the actor's name, but he played the police officer. He was in Halloween 2018 and he was in Halloween Kills. And he had that flashback scene where he accidentally shot another cop trying to kill Michael, and they covered it up. And, it was like this big moment of shame that he experienced from back in the 70s, like that's haunted him even more than Michael has, right? So I thought they were going to advance his character and do more with him, and he's not even really in Halloween Ends. He's in like 2 scenes, and so all the flashback scenes from Halloween Kills don't even matter. Like they didn't do any, they did all that establishing the backstory of the character with zero payoff, no payoff whatsoever. So it just ruins the flashbacks. And then they completely ruined Laurie Strode's character, because it doesn't make sense for her to spend 40 years locked up in a fortress filled with weapons, with giant gates, training herself, to the fullest degree to fight Michael Myers. And Michael Myers, during that entire time, is locked up in the asylum. In Halloween Ends, Laurie Strode knows definitively for a fact that not only is Michael Myers alive, but he is on the loose. And instead, she decides to move to the middle of Haddonfield in a normal house and not even prepare and not even have any weapon. Well, she has some weapons around, but like in the first movie, she lives in a fortress with weapons everywhere. And that's when Michael Myers was locked up for 40 years. Now that she knows Michael Myers is on the loose, she just lives a normal life in Haddonfield. You wouldn't move away. And if in this lore they're not siblings, if she did move to California like she did in Halloween H2O, well, in H2O, Michael follows her because he has incentive to kill her because he's trying to kill his family. If he's not trying to kill his family because he changed the lore, then he would have no incentive to follow her. So why wouldn't she just fucking move to a different state? It makes no sense. And then the biggest thing, obviously the elephant in the room, is that the entire movie of Halloween Ends focuses on a brand new character that has never been established before, that takes up so much more screen time than Michael Myers. You just showed Michael Myers at his most powerful state in Halloween Kills. And then in Ends, he's this like decrepit old man living in the sewer, not doing anything. What the fuck? That makes no sense whatsoever. And then, yeah, let's have Corey be the new character. And I get the idea of like, evil, always has different shapes and forms, and the way people view you incentivize how you act and yada, yada, yada. Like basically the town made him the enemy. But it just was so dumb to throw in the third movie that was built up to be the final confrontation between Michael and Laurie. And it's just like, it ruined the premise. It ruined the trilogy. It ruined the series even more. Most people think that that's like the worst Halloween movie, which it's a contender. But that's the thing, is like, it tried so hard to be the worst Halloween movie. I don't think it's quite the worst, but it's bottom three. It's that one, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, and Halloween Resurrection. Like, all three of those, bottom of the barrel, worst of the worst. Anyways, that's what I think about Halloween Ends.